Don't expect Stone to be back in the Basic Instinct reboot. Last month came in the news that 1991's Basic Instinct was being rebooted, with the original movie screenwriter Joe Esterhaus returning to pen the film. Esterhaus is reportedly scoring millions for the film, which was dubbed anti-woke and doesn't shy away from the sleaziness of his 1990 films like Sliver, Showgirls, and Jade. At the same time, the reports that Sharon Stone may be circling a return to her role of Catherine Tramiel in the film, part she did reprise before the widely panned flop of Basic Instinct 2. Speaking with Today, Stone made it pretty clear she's not involved in it. If it goes the way the one I was in went, then I would just say I do not know why you would do it. Go ahead. Good effing luck. Stone, currently on screen as the villain of Nobody 2, says she now is at an age where she can be candid as the longer cares what says she now is at an age where she can be candid as she no longer cares what anybody thinks of her. Got the no in there. I'm at that stage of my life where I already retired once and I already died a couple times. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Kill me again? Go ahead. Stone recently shared to Business Insider that she and Basic Instinct co-star Michael Douglas first met at Cannes and had a verbal fight, but said the tension resulted in her following her casting provide beneficial. It worked great because I was not rattled if he yelled at me. That was interesting for the character because Michael has a temper and I didn't care. That worked very well in our dynamic. Eventually, we became the greatest of friends. To this day, I admire him tremendously. Mike, is this something should she even be in this movie? Does it matter? Or
why are they even making this movie? That's what I gotta say to that. Why are we making it? So then we're gonna make that movie just so they can do some new version of the crotch shot. That's what this whole movie is gonna be made about, and it's gonna be a big deal about this, and it's gonna be, who are we gonna sit there, Sydney Sweeney, to spread her legs and show the old whatnot.
How do you do?
The old there we go.
Eagle, like the American Eagle.
So I don't know. The original one's so good, and it was so ahead of its not ahead of its time, but just
they try to sequel
one of those films that it stunk. It stunk. Just well enough to be well. And again, the name Basic Instinct, which they're using it for, doesn't get the people they want. They're two generations of moviegoers that don't give a shit about that movie or know it.
No, unless you do it on an Apple or something. But you're right though. Even though you're joking around about it, it depends on who you get in that role. Yeah. Because that's the only way you're really going to do it. But if Esterhaus is doing it,
But here's the thing: I've also noticed this, and I notice this a lot when it comes to comic book writers. When you get a writer that was so good during a certain period, and then I don't know what he's done for the past 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happened a lot with Stan Lee, who's one of the greatest comic book writers of all time. But when they would do Stan Lee and he'd write modern comics, it was just kind of like, you don't have your sense on the pulse of the way people talk now and what's going on in the world. So I don't know what he's been doing. So I can't say, it's not one of these writers that have been writing for the past constantly. And his style changes and it goes with the times. But Esterhaus has a very specific, he had a very specific voice. So
product of the mid to late 90s.
It's like I watched I think it was Paul Verhoeven did a film recently, and it was fine, but I was just like, he's a different guy in the 80s and 90s. He was a different place in his head and
different, dude. It happens with everybody, musicians, actors.
Sure.
I mean, you go through different, you're in your prime for a reason. It's like,
and some people find their prime later in life, and that's their prime. 100%. But
and there's other people that can still do it. Like you look at like Martin Scorsese, who's still able to adjust.
But he's also been the same. He hasn't ventured out and done a superhero film. His wheelhouse is what, and like Nolan will always be like that. He's evolved his voice, but it's maturing with him.
Right. So I don't know. I think Sharon Stone's making the right choice here.
I 100% think so. I think this is going to be a nothing burger.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Is this going to be a streaming movie? Is this going to be something you're interested in, or who gives a flying F? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. I am going to tell you guys right now, when I heard MasterClass was coming on to sponsor the show, I was like, oh, this is great. I've been using MasterClass forever. It's just the best. So I've been talking about business, the way the business works and the movie business, and they have the MasterClass by Bob Iger that I use. And man, just listening to that guy and the access that you get because of MasterClass, holy moly. I was able to use some of those tips and things that he was saying, and just like little exercises that he does in his life when he wakes up, things that you try to do, even something simple as just not even being around your phone, hearing people that you're like, oh, look at what they've done, what they've accomplished. And clearly they have some kind of game plan. That's what you get from MasterClass, because there's nothing from gaining a fresh perspective from experts who've seen it all, and they got the wisdom to prove it. So that's what I got when I was listening to that Bob Iger one. It really has changed my whole perspective on all of this. At MasterClass, you can learn from the best to become your best. They got plans starting at like $10 a month. It's billed annually, and you get unlimited access to over 200 classes taught by the world's best business leaders, writers, chefs, and more. With MasterClass, you get thousands of bite-sized lessons across 13 categories that can fit into even the busiest of schedules. Super easy. So I know there's a lot of people who are big comedy fans too. There's one, the one with Amy Poehler. So you can like apply improv to your daily life. You can develop your singular voice with Mindy Kaling, and you can learn to tell a story that persuades people with Michael Lewis. There's so many different people. So one with Natalie Portman over there. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. And the classes, they do really make a difference. 3 in 4 surveyed members feel inspired every time they watch MasterClass. Include me in there also. Every new membership comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. There's no risk. Right now, our listeners, you get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/bigthing. That's 15% off at masterclass.com/bigthing. Masterclass.com/bigthing.